So with BlackRock and other institutions moving into crypto, there are good reasons to believe that RWA will play a huge role in the bull run. So we're going to take a look at 3 low cap RWA altcoins that can massively benefit from this narrative. Join the Discord, we provide free alpha in there. There's a very nice community of like-minded people that are all determined to make this bull run the best financial gain of their life. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor and these are risky altcoins. So the first project we're going to talk about is Propchain, which is a blockchain ecosystem for real-world assets and prop tech solutions. So Propchain is using the wonders of blockchain technology to discover a new way of how real-world assets are being handled. So with Propchain, you can invest and have co-ownership in real estate, and in return, you will get a yearly ROI ranging from 8 to 12%. And also, Propchain will handle everything that has to do with legal requirements for multiple parties to invest in this real estate. So really cool concept. So they have a section for why you should use Propchain, no upfront cost, so a very small barrier to entry. You also have the team of prop, which is going to provide expertise, most importantly within the legal framework, which is going to be the most important in my opinion. RWA in general is definitely a very useful component that is essential for bridging the gap. But I want you all to think about the amount of regulations that will take place with this technology. And regulations do not need to be a bad thing. If managed properly, it could benefit everyone. But let's just put it like this, in the wrong hands, this sector can be jeopardized. I just want to be very honest about that, but that's why we have teams like this that will sort of guide us through the regulatory landscape. They are also, for now, an approved platform. So then obviously you can invest with crypto, have access to your portfolio, and start earning a yearly 8 to 12% like we talked about. And you can also check out the company on Trustpilot. Seems to have really good reviews, a testament to the fact that people have tried it and are happy with the results. As for the tokenomics of this project, I gotta be honest, if this was another project that was not going to regulate in the same manner as Propchain will, I would not like these tokenomics. However, given that these guys will have a portfolio to manage and regulate, this is going to cost a lot. To maintain these operations, everything that has to do with audits, legal framework, networking, etc., it's going to demand a lot of resources. And I think these tokenomics are actually necessary. As for the vesting schedule, CryptoRank does not have any data, but of course they have that themselves. It's a bit hard to make out how the dilution will look like for instance, end of the year or end of 2025, but we already have a little under 20% of the supply in circulation. One thing to note is that DBM, Team, and Treasury will start their unlocks in a couple of days, I think the 19th of May. If you take a look at the vesting period, it's going to be daily, but over the course of minimum 2 years, and with Treasury, it's actually going to be 30 months. This is nothing to fear in my opinion. Pretty good vesting schedule actually. I'm bullish on this. I don't think end of the year 2024 nor 2025 will be a problem. As for the team, in RWA, I want the team to be doxed, period. These guys need to know what they're doing, and I need to know who they are. I need to know that they exist and that they're competent if they're going to have a foot inside of the traditional finance world and be met with barriers that will undoubtedly coming their way. And the team is doxed. You can check them out on LinkedIn. It seems to be a very stacked team with relevant backgrounds, which is good and definitely a requirement when dealing with this sort of project. Team is also very active on Twitter, so good to see. If we head on over to the chart, so Propchain was launched back in 2023 on May the 19th, had a pretty nice run over Q1 this year, reaching an all-time high of a little more than $5 with a market cap of 84 million, which happened at the end of March, and ever since that we have been correcting. We're down 30% on the month, and there is no way to tell if we found a bottom yet, so this could definitely go lower. However, if you found this project interesting, you could definitely start to accumulate small amounts with a proper DCA strategy. If this project, and probably more importantly, the RWA narrative gets rolling, this could absolutely be worth billions. I'm not going to say how much because no one knows, but at least 10x from this price. And I expect a lot higher than 10x if we actually get a true RWA rally. And as for the listings, we're only listed on MXC and BitGet as of right now, so you can imagine once we start getting some tier 1 exchange listings, the price will definitely go higher. All in all, it seems like a very good project. So the next project we're going to talk about is Soil. So Soil was launched in Q4 of 2023 and had an amazing rally all the way up to $3, doing a 30x. Now, of course, with Bitcoin correcting and therefore almost the entire market correcting, Soil is about 50% down from its all-time high. It is now sitting at 12 million in market cap. So definitely a low cap project. So what is Soil? Soil is basically a fully regulated DeFi protocol that provides a secure returns on stablecoins backed by real-world assets. And as you can see here, they claim that you can get up to 14% annual yield, which is great, by the way, which is actually secured by real-world assets. So you might be asking, how can I get 14% yield when my bank only gives me 2%? And that's a very reasonable question to ask. I just want to highlight that. And you should be very critical when evaluating projects and their promises. So how is Soil able to provide 14%? Well, the duration of the lending is a key component here. As you can see, if you lend for 18 months, you will achieve the 14%. And if you lend for 12 months, you can achieve 8%. Now, your reward for lending your stablecoin will be both the stablecoin, in this case USDC, and the Soil token. So just to give you guys an overview of the business model, here is how it looks. So the thing is, a lot of the time, businesses struggle to access external capital to expand at the rate they would like to. And if you ever try to start a business, getting loans from bank is constrained by regulatory frameworks, tends to be slow, not very flexible, and pretty inefficient in providing financing. So that's where Soil comes in. So you lend your stable coins through the Soil protocol. Soil protocol will then use your stable coins and then provide it for the fiat world. So this is for small, medium businesses, enterprises, etc. that need loans. These businesses will then bring back yield back to the Soil protocol, which then will facilitate your earning. So a very interesting concept indeed. So let's talk about the tokenomics. Here you can see the allocation. I mean, it's decent as long as they have liquidity to be able to fund their 14% yield. This should work out fine. The vesting schedule, keep in mind, this is a fairly new project. It's not even a year old. So this is really important. Everything here is on a monthly unlocked except lender incentives, okay? Makes sense. So we need to check how's it looking at the end of the year and end of 2025. At end of 2024, we will double. At end of 2025, we will almost double again. Is this bad? Definitely something to take into consideration, but compared to a lot of other projects, this is not too bad. Could be better because normally we want the vesting schedule to be longer, but this is decent. And also team is on a 1-year cliff, which is decent. Speaking of the team, we have a docs team. With projects like these, like I said, I need the team to be doxed 100%. So here you can see the team. I've checked them out. They seem to have relevant backgrounds in business development, finance, blockchain, etc. So seems like a very competent team. They're also active on Twitter and most importantly, in real life. The co-founder is speaking at MBX. So this is really bullish. I actually have great confidence in this team. Seems to be a team that is well connected with the outside world as well as the crypto world. So what can Soil do? If we take a look at the bigger players in the RWA space, you will see that some of them are up at the 1 billion market cap. If Soil were to reach 1 billion in market cap, that would be a 100x. I'm not going to say that this is super achievable because then I would be lying, but it's not out of the question to visualize something like this. Definitely has close to a 100x potential with what the team is building, who they are, and the connections that they have. But please keep in mind, I'm not going to repeat myself the entire video, but this is a low cap, almost a micro cap. It's super risky, but the potential, the reward is definitely there. Now, the last pick we're going to talk about is something called Emerald. I know you want to see some small micro caps, so I'm going to bring you one. Needless to say, this is extremely risky. This could go to zero very quick, okay? Just to make that clear. And keep in mind, just because something is extremely risky does not mean that it has to be extremely rewarding. With the disclaimer out of the way, let's head on over to degen territory. So the project we're going to talk about is the Emerald Company. The Emerald Company is basically a marketplace for you to invest in emeralds, with the vision being lowering the barrier and decentralizing the possibility of investing in emeralds. So this means that this company is giving people a fair chance at investing in emeralds, which traditionally can have quite a high barrier to entry. If we look at the roadmap, we can see that we have some bullish events coming up, especially in Q3 this year, with the Discovery investor pool opening up, yield program, and a centralized exchange listing. They already have one centralized exchange listing, which is low tier. We'll get back to that in just a second, but the project has pretty clear vision of what they want to achieve. It's important to note that this project isn't just holding the emeralds, but claims to have a new approach to the technology of actually mining the emeralds. So where the RWA really comes into play is that you can actually be part owner of a collection of emeralds, and when these emeralds are sold or rented out, either through an auction or privately, you as a co-owner, you will get a slice of that cake. If we take a look at the Emerald token, it is designed as the layout to enhance customer engagement and loyalty, enable exclusive access to products and events, and provide transparent product authenticity, ownership tracking, and ethical sourcing. It also serves as a medium for customer involvement in brand initiatives and decision-making processes. So token seems to have utility. Keep in mind, it is still the early days for this project. The allocations look like these. Very broad definitions in my opinion. I prefer, for instance, for team and advisors to be 2 different allocations, but that's just how I prefer it. The team is doxed, which is really good. Now, one thing that makes me bullish on this is that their founder has been in the emerald industry for over 10 years. So I no doubt that he knows a thing or two about this industry. They also seem to have good expertise in blockchain technology, investment strategy, risk management, and so forth. So a really stacked team. I was very surprised by this team. Looks really good. Now, like I said, Emerald as of today has only one centralized exchange listing, which is MXC. After its launch back in late March, it reached an all-time high of $0.04. So that's why I'm talking about it today, because we're down almost 90% from our all-time high, and we're at a market cap of $2.2 million and a fully diluted value of 5.6 and 5.7 million according to CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko respectively. So obviously has insane potential. We're in the early days, price can still go further. Keep that in mind. This is a micro cap. When Bitcoin moves 5% down, this can move 50% down. Only in the last 7 days, we're down 40%. I'm not saying this to discredit the project. As you know, I don't care about the daily, weekly chart if I have great conviction in the project, and my plan is to DCA either way. But it's just something to keep in mind with these microcaps. It is extremely hard to time the bottom. But like I said, this can 100x, but the risk is also extremely high. If you enjoyed, and only if you enjoyed, like and subscribe, join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.